Welcome to True Hope Cast, where we take a deep dive into mental health's many physiological and psychological aspects. This is the show for you if you're looking for motivation, inspiration, knowledge, and solutions, and that's what we are all about here at True Hope Canada. And True Hope Canada is a mind and body-based supplement company dedicated first and foremost to promoting brain and body health through non-invasive nutritional means. For more information about us, please visit truehopecanada.com. Today on the show, I welcome Neshka. Now, Neshka is coming onto the show to tell us about her son's experience with our flagship product, Empower Plus. Neshka's son had some difficulties with stress and anxiety as a teenager, but luckily enough, she was able to provide him with one of the world's most researched micronutrient formulas. So today we're going to be discussing how broad spectrum nutrition can support struggling teenagers. Enjoy the show. Okay, Neshka, welcome to True Hope Cast. Thank you so much for being with us today. How are you and what is going well?
Hello, Simon. Thank you very much for having me on your podcast. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Well, just as an introduction, why don't you just let us know who you are and what it is that you do, please?
So as I said, my name is Neshka. I work at a natural health food store here in Surrey, Canada. It's called Aura Natural Market. I work there as a vitamin representative. So I work with customers. I help them achieve, their full potential, so to speak, health-wise. And I'm very passionate about natural health. And yeah, so that's pretty much about me. And I'm also a mom. I'm a parent. I have a 15-year-old son, Adam. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing. Just before we jump into because you've got a very interesting story in regards to your experience with Empower Plus and your son's experience of Empower Plus more significantly. But I just wanted to ask you, working in a natural health food store, what's it been like with people coming in? What are people asking for these days when they're speaking to supplement representatives? What are people struggling with at the moment?
So I would say definitely stress. Mental health is I would say one of the number one topics. People always ask for anything for anxiety, something that helps them fall asleep, and just deal with stress. Yeah, so just I see lots of stress, kind of body aches, lots of pain, muscle aches, general, lots of fatigue. I noticed that quite a bit lately, mental and physical.
All right. So yeah, a lot of people struggling with their psychological health and their physiological health kind of at the same time. So yeah, there's clearly a lot of people out there struggling, and we're so blessed right now that we've got the option to have these natural options that people seem to be more guided towards, rather than like leaping to like a pharmaceutical drug, which might be a little bit too harsh for some people. That's great. I wonder what are some, so when somebody comes in and they're struggling with stress or they're struggling with anxiety, what makes you start to think about Empower Plus or some of our other products as an option?
Well, my own experience, basically, my son, who's 15 right now, I would say about over a year and a half ago, he himself had lots of struggles in regards to his mental health. He had lots of anxieties. It was his first year going into high school, so he was in grade 8. So obviously that's a big challenge and big
Tough time,
change for a young person. And he is by nature he's a very kind and sensitive boy. So that just really put a lot of pressure on him. So at that time I was working at a different health food store, a nutrition house, and my wonderful friend and my manager at that time, Dawn, she has mentioned True Hope Empower Plus, and she told me the family story and how it led into developing this wonderful product. And I just thought, why not? I mean, it's it sounds amazing, and so I give it a try. And my son has been on it, I would say, for at least a year now, probably close to, it will be probably a year and a half or even longer. And I have noticed big changes in him. Yeah.
Amazing. That's so obviously, yeah, going into high school for any teenager is a very big experience that comes with a lot of
Yes.
nerves, a lot of anxieties come up. Obviously, there's such a unfamiliar, unknown kind of scary territory to step into, especially for those like kind of more sensitive, empathic individuals.
Yes.
And did you have any hesitation in regards to using like a natural health product, like a supplement, a capsule for, your 14-year-old? Did you have any hesitation for something like that?
No, actually, I did not. I felt very comfortable. Obviously, looking at the ingredients, it looked just very natural, multivitamin and mineral. And I thought, yeah, I felt I had no doubts, and I had no worries about giving it to him. So yeah, there was no problem.
Amazing. And how was he actually taking capsules? Because that could be quite tricky for anyone, really.
Yeah. Actually, he wasn't too bad. He went through a period of time where it had to be a gummy or a
Hmm.
liquid, but I think he uh, went through a stage where now he's okay swallowing capsules. So it was not a problem at all, and he wasn't even objecting or upset with me that I make him take these. Yeah, there was no problem.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with that. I mean, I give Empower Plus to my 2 and 4-year-old, but I
Yeah,
open up the capsule and put it into yogurts and smoothies and different foods that because
yeah,
tasting
that
it on
works.
its own is pretty terrible. It doesn't taste very good, but you blend it up into some yummy foods and it's all good. And they know that
Yes,
it's going in there as well. They know that it's their supplement. They know it's their vitamin that they need to take to be healthy. So
yeah,
it's not like I am silently drugging them with natural health products, but they like to be a part of the whole process of opening it up and putting it in there, so that's really cool. um
yes.
so you say Adam, he used the product for a year. Can you tell us about that year and kind of what he experienced and kind of what you experienced as a mum as well, going through that high school experience, and he was originally had those kind of stresses and anxieties. What changes did you notice during that year?
So he became just, everything was just, he was more approachable, way easy to talk to have a conversation, just more open, more happy, more relaxed. Um, and he didn't struggle with going outside, because that was one thing that it was a really big challenge. It wasn't just, it was mostly school related, but it was also uh, going to the mall, going grocery shopping, like anything like that. Seeing friends in person was really hard for him. So definitely that was a big change. I started noticing him being more up to doing things like, oh mom, let's go do this, and um, let's go this place, or I want to hang out with my friends, like just more happy and open person. That's definitely what I noticed with him.
That's, I mean, as a parent, I mean, all we really want for our kids is happiness, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
To be happy, kind people. So that must have been huge for you to, first of all, witness your child going through so much struggles at a common age where a lot of kids do, but like so many
Yeah.
people don't have an outlet. Like, you're just, you should, you're blessed that you were working in the natural health industry and you had this wonderful manager who listened to you, listened to what your child was going through, listened to what you were going through, and had this actual like solution that was natural, that was healthy, that made a lot of sense to you as like
Yes.
as somebody works within natural health. So as a parent looking at your child struggle to then thriving in a tricky teenage time, what was that like for you personally?
Oh, it was amazing. It was like a big load off, went off my chest. I just felt like every day just seemed easier to go through because it was quite hard every morning not knowing whether he will go to school, or today will be the day where he will be staying home. So I mean, it is like every parent's dream to see their child happy and just wanting to participate in life. So I was so relieved, so relieved.
That's amazing. Yeah, I wish that so many more parents knew about Empower Plus, knew about our other products, knew about our story, and had the ability to try these products, because obviously after the pandemic, I think it's super common now that a lot of kids maybe don't want to go outside or don't want to go to the playground where there are lots of other kids going there, because they are nervous, they are anxious about that because of that whole nearly 2 year period where we had like lockdowns and
Yes,
mandates, and we had all this kind of awful stuff that was happening, especially to those. I feel so bad for those teenagers where, my
yes,
my whole
me
teenage
too.
years was about being with my friends. Like I was kind of done with my
Yes,
parents and I wanted to just be with my friends and hang out and figure out who I was as an individual. And then having that kind
yes.
of that freedom, that right taken away from us in such a vicious way. I can only imagine how so many teenagers would have struggled through that period, and are so blessed that you're able to find Empower Plus and have that natural solution for your family. It's huge.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel so thankful, and just, yeah, just blessed and thankful. And I guess being at that place in the right time and learning about the product. Yeah, I love it. And, I have, since I'm a mom, there's lots of other moms that I do know that have kids in my son's age. And I definitely recommend Empower Plus to everyone because it does work. Yeah.
It certainly does, absolutely. I mean, we have also have 35 peer-reviewed medical journals that also show that it works. So it's, yeah, without
Yes.
question, if you are somebody who is a naturopath and you've not heard of our product, and you might think that this story is too good to be true, that a multivitamin, a broad spectrum micronutrient could have this type of um, very actually quite fast transformation with an individual. It's not up in the air, it's not airy fairy stuff, it's real. The science is there to back it up, and we
Yeah.
have thousands of testimonies like yours from young kids and from adults and from so many different individuals that benefit from getting good quality nutrition primarily into their brains, to allow them
Yes.
to be able to cope with the stresses and the anxieties and the depressions that come with just growing up and developing as a human in this kind of wild world. Do you use your individual
Yes.
story when you're recommending the product in stores? Because I guess that when people have got questions on the sales room floor, they're gonna want to obviously know what the product is, how it works, but also like being able to add your story and your own personal experience just adds that little bit more validity to that recommendation. So do you use your own story?
I definitely do. Whenever I talk to parents who have teenage kids or teenagers who go through similar challenges, I always mentioned my son's story. So yes, definitely. I think that makes people um, they're willing to try it way more if they know somebody else's experience in that regards. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think when people hear like very truthful, authentic, powerfully emotional stories, people they know that you're telling the truth. You know, they feel it. They can feel what you're
Yes.
saying, how you're saying it, your body language, your energy. They can just they get it. They're like, oh, okay, like I this isn't a made up story. This is
No.
true, and it's gonna certainly impact them taking the product as well, because they now have this knowledge that this has worked in another way for somebody else.
Yes, definitely.
Wonderful.
Definitely.
How so does Adam take the product himself now? Like is it just there like it's a standard thing that he does like every day, or is it something
And
that you as a mum have to make sure he
oh,
takes?
that'll be amazing. That'll be my dream come true if he just came up and no, I still make it ready for him.
Hmm.
You know, he has too many things on his
He's
head. You
15.
know,
He's 15.
he's 15. You know, he's busy with his friends and school. So yes, I still prepare it for him, but which is fine. That's it's not a problem for me.
Yeah.
You know, as long as he takes it and I see him being happy and healthy, that's all I need.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we've had some teenagers on the podcast as well talking about their experience. I think I remember a girl called Anne. She was 18 on the show, and she was at an age, you know, 15, 18 is a big difference there, and you know, she was able to you know take that on herself, the Empower Plus, and taking it daily, and she was sharing
Yeah.
her story with her friend groups about, you know, some of the things that she struggled with, and she just takes this very simple thing that seems to just like wipe all of those anxieties away. And yeah, hopefully that Adam, when he gets in a few years, once he really realizes that this product is very very necessary for him,
Yes.
and he might influence other people to do it too.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Few more years.
Yeah, a few more years, absolutely. Well, I mean, so before you got Adam on Empower Plus, you hadn't had any experience with our products or our company before. You'd learnt about them through your like ex manager.
Yes.
How have you tried our products? Has Adam's experience influenced you somewhat?
Yes, definitely. So, when he started being on Empower Plus, I wasn't on it at that time. So now seeing him just being so calm and healthy and having literally no anxieties, I have decided actually to try it myself. I've been on it for maybe about a month and a half. Um, and I do feel the difference. Definitely. I do get anxious like most people, especially nowadays. We do
Yeah.
live in pretty stressful times, as you know.
Hmm.
So it definitely makes a big difference for me. Yeah, I feel just just calmer, generally just calmer.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, I've been so lucky to hear literally thousands of stories from people from all walks of life with their experience of Empower Plus and our other products, but mainly Empower Plus. And it's wonderful how this product can serve so many different individuals, people with very serious psychological conditions,
Yeah.
and then people who are looking to just like, you know, get through the kind of stresses of everyday life. Like I don't
Hmm.
have a clinical diagnosis or anything like that. I never have. I'm very lucky to not have gone through something like that. But I've got two young kids. You know, I have a
Yeah.
job. I have all these responsibilities, and it can be very very difficult to find the time to do all the other things that might serve my mental health. But I know that my the food I consume is
Yes.
not as doesn't have the nutrition in that it used to,
Yeah.
even though I eat very very well. So I know that supplementation is not just like this um, luxurious added thing that I have in my diet. It's an absolute necessity. And I know
Yeah.
that when I don't take my Empower Plus, my patience with my kids is, it just like disappears. I step into anger and frustration a lot more quicker. And when I do
Hmm.
that, I've got the ability to catch myself and be like, oh, I've not taken my Empower Plus today or yesterday, you know, like I am
Yeah.
literally nutrient deficient when my brain is incapable of working how I feel it should. And
Yes.
it's just a very easy reminder. And I think
Yeah.
that whether you are one of the healthiest people on the planet, which I don't really know what that looks like, or, you know, somebody who's really struggles, everyone
Yeah.
is like going to be nutrient deficient because of our soil, because of our food, and just
Exactly.
the external things around us, social media, electronics, stress, work, family, all these things like build up, and they deplete us by putting us into a, you know, fight or flight nervous system response, which really
Yeah.
takes away very essential resources, vitamins, minerals, etc. So having a daily constant supply of bioavailable, very, very well researched nutrition, just to take that every day, it's super easy, it's super simple, just to really cover all those bases of any potential nutrient deficiency that may come in, because we're all a little bit different in regards to what nutrients we
Exactly.
might be susceptible to being reduced in. So yeah, it's just a very amazing thing that I've experienced in like the last 6 years working with True Hope, that literally everybody will benefit from this product if they take their own circumstances into consideration and work with our micronutrient support team or our reps to make sure that they're taking the product appropriately for their circumstances. Every single person benefits significantly from taking this product.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree. I've also started recommending it to adults and like my friends, because like I mentioned, I have a lot of mom friends, and they go through similar struggles, like you just said, everyday work, you juggle work with family life, trying to find, some time to yourself if you can. And so definitely, I think, and like you said, you notice the difference if you don't take them. And that's exactly because sometimes people, ask me, but how do you know it really works? How do you know that actually it does work what you take? And I said, well, the best way to know is when I don't take it. When I stop taking it, then I definitely see a difference of how I
Mm-hmm.
feel, like my mental state and my energy. Um, yeah, that's definitely, it shows them.
Yeah, and it's at the end of the day, like it's literally it's food in a capsule that's broken down
Yes,
and put together in a form that's so absorbable, even through the blood-brain barrier. So you could try this product for a month, and I guarantee most people are going to experience
yes,
some kind of benefit, whether that's more energy, um, not feeling as fatigued as much, they're sleeping better, their cognition, their memory is going to improve. So many unbelievable benefits just by providing the body the resources, the nutrients, the ingredients it needs to like make you feel amazing. And your body is going to struggle, especially long term, if you are nutrient deficient for a long periods of time. And people do that sometimes for decades, and they've
yes,
had headaches for decades, or they feel tired for decades, or they feel anxious for decades, and they're literally just been nutrient depleted for so long that that symptom that they've experienced for so long is just like a normal part of them. And it's quite amazing how the body can actually keep us getting out of bed and doing all of our stuff, even though we are kind of starving it of food.
yeah,
But then quite simply, quite easily, we're able to supplement that in a very quality way and completely change the lives of people.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. I was going to ask you, have you been through our product training before? You know, you've worked in a couple of different health food stores. Have you been through our product training?
I think I went through one while I was at this current place. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was last year, maybe October, November.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it was
Wonderful.
one of those long webinars, like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
hour and a half, I remember. Yeah, it was very, very touching and very heart moving. I found I have to say it's one of the most enjoyed webinars I have done so far. Yeah, it was amazing.
Wonderful. Yeah, we have a few different courses that are available for health food stores and health food store staff. You're talking about the like online Zoom training that we did throughout last year. We also have it's about 4 years old now, but it's a True Hope University course, which is like something that you can go through at your own pace. But we've actually got a brand new course coming out this year that we've been working on for quite some time that is so in depth in regards to what our individual products do, how they actually work in combinations. We touch on some phenomenal things like methylation, which is a really big topic now, whether you have methylated ingredients or non-methylated ingredients. So you should be able to access that course probably in the next month or so and really jump into that a little bit more. And if there's anybody listening in any health food stores that do carry our products or want to carry our products, you can reach out to us on our website and connect with us about that, because this course is going to be awesome. I was lucky enough to be involved in the production of it, and it really is quite phenomenal. It's really in depth, and it literally answers every possible question I think you could have about Empower Plus, how it works, who it's going to support, and how, you know, those amazing store staff that we have all across Canada are going to be able to better serve those individuals coming in who are just struggling, who are looking for something natural.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Well, Neshka, thank you so much for coming onto the show to tell us about your son's experience with the product, and I'm so blessed that and so feel so great that he was able to get hold of that, because unfortunately your story that you might have of a struggling teen, so many of those teenagers who do struggle, they end up in a doctor's office and they end up on a very serious drug that
Yes.
causes side effects, can be very, very damaging in the long term. And it, you know, it's certainly not a solution or a cure. It's not dealing with the root issue that a lot of struggling teens and struggling people have. So yeah, I'm just blessed for you that you're able to find that for your son. As a parent, I know how it can be. And yeah, hopefully we can spread this message, get this word out, continue to serve individuals, and allow parents to recognize that there are some natural solutions out there that work, and they are not going to hurt or harm our children any further, because we just want to see our kids smiling, really.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Simon. It was a pleasure to be on your podcast. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, for any more information about the show or about our products, please visit truehopecanada.com. I will leave some information in the show notes, so you can just easily click there. Don't forget to subscribe. You can give us a review on iTunes if you feel inclined to do so. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much for listening to True Hope Cast, the official podcast of True Hope Canada. We will see you soon.